Once I got those rails to work properly, this loading system is completely overloaded. I'm probably going to end up losing some of these items. This is just ludicrous. Well, hello there and welcome back. This is episode 36 of my Minecraft 1.15 Let's Play. I'm in one of the scariest areas of my server, my Wither Rose farm. I haven't been back here in a while, but I have some ideas for a farm I want to create, hopefully in this episode, but it involves just over 4 shulker boxes of Wither Roses, and I only had 2, so I had to come here and I've AFK'd basically for a solid day, and I've managed to get a full 4 shulker boxes of Wither Roses. There's 3, there's the 4th one right there. I might as well grab the rest of these as well. I did have a little bit of a scare here. There's a soul sand block that is underneath where the zombies fall right here, and that had got blown up or disappeared somehow, and the zombies were falling down and none of them were getting killed, and I wasn't getting any Wither Roses, and I had to kill a bunch of zombies that were stuck down there, and a few of them got out, and I almost had the Wither get out on me. It was a very scary moment. Managed to get everything back intact without any major incidences. But yeah, this is a scary place. I don't visit here unless I have to. Before I do anything with those Wither Roses, I did a bunch of beautification of this area right here. I've got this nice path, all these nice flowers and bushes and everything like that. And we've got these pumpkins that are just sitting here being all ugly. And I think it's time to set up a proper pumpkin farm and get rid of all this nonsense right here. So I want to build Ilmango's flying machine based melon and pumpkin farm. The idea is that you just create a big old field of melons and pumpkins and you use flying machines to harvest them all. So what better place than right underneath? This is my ice farm and my vine farm, and it allows me to kind of multitask, and so that I can turn this on and it's fully automatic while it's running, and then I can come up here and harvest one of the 2 of them. I won't need to use this very often because 6 chunks by 6 chunks, that's the size that we're doing here, is massive, and I probably only need to use this farm once or twice. That's kind of the idea, but these farms work the same way, so I think this is a good place to set it up, and I've been clearing out this area, and I'm starting to regret that decision. I've already cleared out something like 18 shulker boxes worth of materials and stuff like that, and there's still a long way to go. This doesn't look like much, but this is actually quite a bit to clear out, so I might have to backtrack on that decision. I'll see if I can get some more cleared out. The idea was to put it way down here, but I might have to put it up there or something like that. I think that's still plenty of room. It's just, this is taking a lot longer than I meant for it to. Well, I ended up actually clearing out the whole thing. It took me quite a while. I went through quite a few pickaxes getting there, and I ended up accumulating quite a lot of resources. I actually do have a use for most of this, so at least I did get something out of this, and I'm actually going to take all these back to my base and put them through the sorting system. I need them to sort out all the dirt for me, because it turns out that both of the farms that I want to work on in this episode are going to require quite a bit of dirt. This farm uses a rail collection system, so the first step is to lay out all these rails. I'm just laying them out on the stone instead of setting up another layer up on top of the stone, but I have cleaned up the stone quite a bit. Alright, I got all the rails laid out, so now I need to power all these power rails here. So for that, I'm just going to dig down underneath them and place switches up above my head like so. I'm going to take about 1,000 switches all the way down. Next, I need to lay out all this dirt and the water sources. In Ilmango's original design, he had to do some special stuff with all the tracks just to deal with the water sources that would be just above these tracks. Fortunately, now we can waterlog half slabs, and so now I don't have to do that anymore. That's pretty cool. The downside of this, though, is that I can't just use an ice block and crack it in order to use the water, so I'll have to set up these water refill stations from time to time. But this is definitely a big improvement over the old design. It's definitely one of those times where I wish I had an overworld mob switch. I'd much rather come back and deal with these lightings later, but if I don't deal with the lighting as I go, I'll end up with a giant mob farm. These farms up here actually block all the light from coming down here, so even sleeping at night won't save me from this turning into a mob farm. I'll get spawns at every time of the day. I made this ridiculousness right here just because I could. This is totally unnecessary. I'll probably use maybe 2 or 3 of these on the whole field up here. There's no reason to make this many. This is pretty much just a waste of a shulker box, but I've had to plant some of the pumpkins and melons ahead of time just because I needed enough pumpkins to make all these jack-o'-lanterns. The melons make the pumpkins grow faster, and then I also needed all the seeds. I think I have enough seeds now. It's going to take about a shulker box each of the types of seeds. So I got to do the rest of the field. Got to do all the hoeing and planting of the seeds all the way through and get this all set up. For the record, it didn't even take me one hoe for something like 4,500 blocks. Unbreakable 3-diamond hoes last basically forever. Nope, I didn't end up having enough of either type of seed. On the bright side, however, this area is growing back faster than I can harvest them. I just harvested that area over there, and they're already starting to grow back. And by the time I finish this section right here, there should be a decent number over here. So I could basically just sit here and harvest for as long as I need to. Alright, so now all I need to do is set up the flying machines. Note that it makes more sense to make this design thinner and longer like Il Mango did. The number of flying machines is based on how wide it is. So I'm going to have to set up a few extra flying machines because I made this so much wider. And how long it is doesn't really matter as long as those chunks stay loaded. So that's a little bit more efficient. I just wanted to work with the space I had available. But let's set up those flying machines. Alright, I'm pretty sure that some of these aren't going to launch properly, but since we're not dealing with TNT here, I'm not too worried about it. So let's just give it a shot and see what happens. Looks pretty good so far. Let's follow on down and check them out. A little bit hard on the frames per second, but looks like all of them are actually launching. Whew, it is. My FPS is really grinding here. This is very cool, though. Looks like they all launched. Let's see if they all come back now. And also, did the carts did not take off. That's going to cause a problem. Just a little bit of a push limit issue. When I expanded this past the range that Il Mango had, some of these weren't set up properly. So if I update this piston, oh, nope, still too long of a distance. I should be able to, like, take a couple blocks off here. Not even counting at this point. But if I remove that now... Will you push? No. Oh, also this one has a repeater above it. It's not supposed to have a repeater above it. It's supposed to be a... So we'll just fix that. Like so. There we go. That should send those carts off. And this one's probably returning items right now. That one should be fine. Oh, no. So this one here... And we can extend this here. That won't be a problem. That should be all the carts off now. There we go. Looks like actually the flying machines are all working properly. Every single one of them. That is amazing. They've actually returned this way and then sent out again. Looks like one of the flying machines did break. Looks like it just stuck to the wall here, so that's not a big deal. As far as the item collection system goes, I've got the items set up in a loop so that if they don't get collected by the hoppers the first time around, they just loop around until they're eventually collected. Although it doesn't seem to be that it's keeping up. These are double speed shulker loaders right here, one for each item, and it looks like the watermelons are definitely falling behind. So I might need a second shulker box loader for those. Well, my rail system's not working. I didn't check the directionality of these at all. And they're not actually returning to here. Um, that's unfortunate. I don't know how I got those items in the first place. It looks like something's weird here. I think I can fix them this way without causing myself too much headache. So if I push this guy along on its way, it should come back and return that way. Yeah, I think that'll work. All right, I've got all the mine carts back, so let's give this another go and see if everything's working properly now. Some of these didn't send off. It looks like just a couple. See if that's a problem that keeps coming up. Well, it looks like they've come back and they're unloading properly. That's a good sign. This is going to completely overload my system, but and they're taking off again. All right, so far so good. Once I got those rails to work properly, this loading system is completely overloaded. I'm probably going to end up losing some of these items. This is just ludicrous. Yeah, it's not even really keeping up with the pumpkins. Man, I don't want to set up 2 shulker box loaders for each item, but this is a crazy amount of items. Despite the fact that I'm pretty sure a number of items despawned, I ended up getting 2, almost 3 shulker boxes of pumpkins and 6.5 shulker boxes of melons. I'm almost tempted to say that that's good enough because that's a lot of items. But I mean, I made a farm this big. Why not make sure that we're collecting all the items? So let me see what I can do there. So I set up 4 sorters for each item, and this isn't even coming close to keeping up. Even the pumpkins aren't keeping up with 4 sorters here. So there's no shulker box loading system that I know that operates faster than this. The 4X shulker box loader by Ilmango is the fastest I know of. And I don't really want to have to set up 2 4X shulker box loaders for each item. And I don't think that'd be even fast enough for the watermelons. I think the only thing I can do here is set up a wallet chest. I don't want to set up a million shulker box loaders. It's kind of just defeats the purpose if they're all going into a million shulker boxes anyways. I might as well just have a big old wallet chest with a whole bunch of sorters because nothing else is going to keep up. This is ludicrous. All right, so I set up 8 sorters for pumpkins and 16 sorters for melons. Let's see if it can actually keep up now. Well, it looks like no. Even pumpkins are going through the loop, and there's still a lot more coming. It's better, I guess. Now it's been running for well over 5 minutes, so any of the initial items from the first harvest are long despawned or probably despawned, and it is still not keeping up with just the melons here. At least we're keeping up with the pumpkins now. But the melons, it looks like we're going to need more melon sorters. This is crazy. All right, hopefully 24 melon sorters will do it. I'm running out of room in which to put the sorters, so let's see if this works. Well, it kept up with the first load just fine. The second load is usually the biggest. Should be coming in here any second now. Yeah, there they go. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be able to keep up with the second load. Look at those items coming in. And they still haven't gone, none of the items have gone to the loop just yet. It's actually pretty impressive. Oh, now they're starting to. But it might actually be able to catch itself back up as the following loads start getting smaller and smaller now that it's harvested all of the main items. Looks like it's actually catching up. It's been less than 5 minutes, so none of the items have actually despawned. I think it's actually really starting to catch up here. So this actually might be an adequate sorting system. This ridiculousness right here actually seems to work. So this is what the wall of chests looks like. We got 2 sorters going into each set of chests here. So this is the pumpkins are nearly full. I've been running this for maybe a half an hour. And these second set of pumpkins are predictably aren't getting as many pumpkins. That's to be expected. And then the melons are just completely ridiculous. And then the ones that I just set up here, not too bad. It's only been running for a few minutes. So that's pretty amazing considering these are the last ones there. So yeah, this is a lot of storage. But what's funny is this, we're talking about a half an hour here. I don't think this chest storage would be able to handle an overnight AFK session. By the way, the minecart situation that I was having earlier, the fix that I put in place seems to be working great. I haven't had any issue with the minecarts since I set that up. As with any flying machine based farm, it's important that you turn it off before you leave the area. Oh, by the way, here's what this area looks like now. It's actually pretty cool looking. At night, it takes on a completely different look because there's no light up there whatsoever. And this area down here is so bright. Well, that ended up taking longer than I thought, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get to the second farm this week. I don't think I'd be able to give it the attention it deserves, especially with everybody at home right now. I've been trying to release shorter episodes more often, so I want to get this one out, and then I'll start working on the second farm immediately in the next episode. But I hope you enjoyed this one. I want to thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.